What's going on, everybody? My name is David Delano, and this is Rockets Daily, brought to you by FanArch. Stay locked in with us throughout this rest of this off season, which is almost over. We got Media Day coming up on September 29th. We're excited about that. Preseason tipping off, I should say, October 6th. So we're almost through the month of September here. We're almost through it, but Rockets still making news. There's still a lot of free agents out there that could potentially help the team in the back of the end of the roster, as the Rockets actually have one roster spot remaining, but don't really have too much money to really sign any veterans to that spot. And we'll talk about that a little bit. Something was in the comments, something on social media confirmed from Patrick Beverley that he was working out in Houston. And we're going to go ahead and get into that first. But before we do, appreciate any comments on your mind when it comes to the Rockets. Go ahead and leave them for us, and go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Help us grow. Want to get to 1,000? Love to get to 1,000 subscribers before this preseason starts, but one at a time, and that starts with you if you're not subscribed already. All right, so Patrick Beverley, saw the post, social media post. Also, followers have been commenting on it. I saw it on Instagram. I believe it was on Patrick Beverley's Twitch channel at first, that he said he was very close to signing with the Rockets. He said this is why he was been working out in Houston lately, but the issue is, he said, the Rockets at the first apron, they can't really offer him much in terms of guarantees. So Patrick Beverley's still unsigned. Obviously, he has an interest there to get back in the league. Point guard, we've talked about it. Someone to share those minutes with Fred VanVleet, Aaron Holiday. I like him, but a little bit limited. And Reed Shepard, Patrick Beverley, someone who could definitely probably push Reed at least in practice. So does Patrick Beverley have anything left in the tank? Like Patrick Beverley for what he's done for the team, I do think that there's definitely like campaign, and there's some other point guard options, and we've talked about them, throughout this whole off season, that I think could definitely help this team. But Patrick Beverley coming back to Houston, we're also talking about the 15th roster spot there. See if you guys would be open to it, but if the Rockets are really going to do that, going to have to create some more salary cap space. Kind of wonder at this point, with some of the guys out there, do you really want to do that to sign a guy like, Patrick Beverley? And if you move a player, Patrick Beverley, and maybe one other piece with the 14th and 15th spot on the roster, who are really the options here to move that you would move? And I know that there's going to be moves once the season begins, but to Clint Capella, a guy that, due to his offer, someone that could be moved right away. Don't necessarily really want to move Clint Capella right away. And Folly Dante gone now. We got a lot of depth there. If you go with with Şengün, I don't want to say just, but Şengün and Steven Adams. I mean, Clint Capella, based on the numbers, when you look at offensive efficiency, I believe number one all time for the Rockets. A lot of that had to do with the setup of the offense, but Clint Capella's had some very strong years here. So not someone that, obviously, I want to see these things play out. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Don't want to see Clint Capella move. But if you want to create some salary cap space, Clint Capella is a piece out there. We talked about Jae'Sean Tate yesterday too. Guy that I'd love to see around here. But I don't know. That could possibly, be a move. You trade him and a pick for someone to pick up his salary. But then you start looking at the 15th spot. Is it going to be someone that offers more value than Tate? Not just on the court, but in the locker room. So some things to think about there. And if the Rockets do create some salary cap space, there's a lot of different buy low options out there. And Erkan Osmani talked about last week. A lot of people out there thinking, who the hell is Erkan Osmani? Well, he's never played in the NBA. playing overseas in Turkey. 7 foot, played with Şengün, and held. I'm gonna say it wasn't just a direct thing, but Şengün told him he'd get Osmani. I believe it was a Rolex. I believe it was a Rolex if he held Giannis under 20 points when they played Greece. Giannis didn't score 20 points, but yeah, a 7 footer that could space the floor. Balled out in the Eurobasket tournament. You think about, I don't know, you get someone like Osmani who hasn't been in the NBA but could offer a lot. Would you take a move to create salary cap and move Clint Capella to get an Osmani and a Patrick Beverly or another guard that's on the market on this team? Right now, we're talking about all different possibilities, but I don't think that you want to move. At least I don't want to see Capella moved at this time, especially like I said, we're talking about 14, 15 spots on the roster. Definitely want to go ahead and see how everything is going to play out first. All right, as we get into some of the days of fun Rockets basketball to watch for the diehards, but a little bit of disappointment. 2010, 2011 season, just a little bit of some mediocre years here. Rick Adelman, this was his last season coaching the Rockets. He left for the Timberwolves afterwards. The Rockets went 43-39 this season. Finished ninth in the Western Conference. 3 games behind the Memphis Grizzlies for the final spot. And this was Yao Ming's last season in the NBA. He would retire after this. And honestly, to say last season was a stretch, as Yao Ming only played in 5 games. That season, averaged 10.2 points per game. So, obviously, disappointing year there. Kevin Martin, though, who I've seen apparently was holding back a little bit because he didn't want to make the All-Star team. Saw that on one, I forget what podcast I saw that on, where he said Kevin Martin would slow it down because he wanted his me time. I didn't want to be selected as an all-star. But 23.1 points per game for Kevin Martin. Luis Scola, 18.3 points per game and 8.1 rebounds. Kyle Lowry, 13.5 points per game. Aaron Brooks, 11.6. You had future volleyball star, international volleyball star Chase Budinger as well, 9.4 points per game. So, this was a Rockets team with Kevin Martin, Luis Scola, Kyle Lowry, Aaron Brooks. A lot of guys who, at least to me, were easy to root for, but not star power by any means. And he said 43-39 season, so not a playoff team either. But this team did have a lot of heart. This team actually got off to a poor start. Was a 26, only 26-31. So was not even close to the playoff range. But then they went 15-5 over the next 20. You could tell they were playing for it, even though they fell short of the playoffs. A team that definitely did not quit. And Kevin Martin went on a tear in a lot of games that particular season. Now, obviously, things creeping up with the three-point shooting in the NBA. The Rockets, exciting team, as I mentioned, despite not making the playoffs, were 4th in the NBA in three-point attempts per game, which at the time was 22.5, which now you see that many threes and a half. But the Rockets were did shoot, like I said, fourth in the league in three-point attempts, and actually 9th in the league in three-point percentage. So did see, even with the championship years and the Rockets, as the three-point shooting has increased in the NBA, Rockets always been ahead of the curve with that. We're 3rd in the league in scoring with just 105.9 points per game. Unfortunately, though, this team was also 22nd in the NBA in points per game allowed. So that's the 2010-2011 Houston Rockets season. Thanks so much for getting to this part of the video and for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead. Thank you so much for being here. This has been Rockets Daily, brought to you by FanArch. Let's have a great day.